What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the Brew Lab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight in the Brew Lab, we're going to be looking at some FrogChantments. With only a few days left to go before the new alchemy cards arrive and the channel makes the switch to alchemy, which honestly I'm kind of looking forward to. Running out of things to do in standard. And having an influx of new cards in a new format to attack is going to be fantastic for me. So we're just playing a little bit of fun and junky stuff while, I'm still continuing to watch the Neon Dynasty Championships. I'd like to, again, just apologize for the stream. I thought my internet would be good enough. I did all the speed tests and everything. I was getting over 200 megabytes download speeds and uploads, but somehow the stream just wasn't working. So I had to call that plan off. And I've been watching it on Hella Good Games stream, so go give him a follow. And if you are interested in watching the tournament, I recommend you go do it with him. It's funner than just watching it on the main Twitch channel. But anyway, long-winded introduction. Here we go. Some FrogChantments. We're of course looking at this new card from Kamigawa called Tatsunari, the Toad Rider. Full playset. Tatsunari, what happens? Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, if you don't already control a creature named Kaimi, you get to create Kaimi. And Kaimi is a 3/3 legendary black and green frog creature token with, whenever you cast an enchantment spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Then you can also pay 1 colorless and either green or blue. And Tatsunari the Toad Rider and target frog you control can't be blocked this turn, except by creatures with flying or reach. So nice little bit of extra versatility. Sometimes the opponent doesn't have, flyers or reaches, and you can swing in for 6 consistently every turn with these two in play. It starts to be it's a lot of pressure. So we needed, of course, plenty of enchantments to trigger both Tatsunari and then Kaimi once it's in play. So the rest of the deck is mostly an enchantment deck, but there's no hallowed hauntings here. We've got 3 copies of Clawing Torment, 1 mana enchantment aura. Enchant artifact or creature. As long as the enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets -1/-1 and can't block. So this can sometimes just be removal. There's creatures that have 1 toughness, plenty of them in fact. And especially against mono white. So this can just be a removal spell, but I quite like it as a way, you first of all you get Tatsunari down, then you play Clawing Torment, you get your Kaimi, and you put it on a creature that is not so small that the opponent it'll die. It'll just sit there, and every beginning of upkeep the opponent loses 1 life. So an additional little bit of drain alongside the Kaimi whenever you cast an enchantment starts to add up over the game. Then, adding to that drain, we've got 3 copies of Warlock Class, which is also our main little bit of card advantage. So use the level 2 sparingly and when necessary, but we can look at the top 2 cards of your, 3 cards of our library, pick one of them, put the rest into our graveyard. We do have the Gloomshrieker, which will allow us to bring permanent back to our hand from the graveyard. So usually if I'm looking at the cards in my hand, I'll keep the Infernal Grasp or keep the Valki and put the other stuff in the graveyard that I can get back with the Gloomshrieker later. Don't forget that we are running a full playset of Weaver of Harmony in the deck, which has the ability to double activated or triggered abilities you control from an enchantment source. So when you level up the Warlock class, you can double that and look at the top 6 cards of your library and pick 2 of them and put 4 into the graveyard. So it can be quite nice to get that double draw. And then the level 3, at the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life equal to the life they lost this turn. This can be a win con in and of itself. I actually really love Warlock Class. I'm surprised it got uncommon. I guess it's because it's so expensive to get to the level 3. So yeah, another bit of drain alongside with just its basic level 1. Every time a creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life. So starting to add up here with the little drain effects. Then we've got full playset of Infernal Grasp. I did want some instant speed removal, and we do have some ways of gaining life in the deck, and so I haven't really, you know, I don't really mind the 2 life loss. Then we've got one. I always like to put a little sprinkle of sneaky one-offs in the deck, and today we're going with Valki. And the reason for that is because we've got Binding of the Old Gods in the deck, and we can go search up Highland Forest, and we can hardcast a Tybalt Cosmic Imposter, and that's kind of the reason for this guy. And because we have the Gloomshrieker, we can sometimes in a pinch cast the front side if we want to get some information on the opponent's hand. And then if Valki inevitably gets killed and ends up in the graveyard, we can then bring him back to our hand with the Gloomshrieker, and maybe by then, at that point in the game, we've got the Highland Forest and we can play Tybalt instead. Let's see if it comes up. Might be what wins us a game, and that would be fantastic. Then, Weaver of Harmony is, of course, an enchantment. So I'm going to trigger our Tatsunari, our Kaimi, and other enchantment creatures you control get +1/+1. Isn't really that important, except for the other copies of the Weaver of Harmony, because it's not legendary. You could have 4 of these in play, then they all give each other +1/+1. And there is an enchantment creature in the form of the Gloomshrieker, so this will get buffed, but there's no other enchantment creatures, so it's not really that important. But the real reason it's in here is the copy target activated or triggered abilities from enchantments. There's so many enchantments that there's so many cool things we can do with this. First of all, we've talked about the Warlock Class. Second of all, we could do, I don't know, double drain triggers on the opponent's turn at the upkeep. We could do when the Meathook Massacre comes into play and sweeps for whatever amount you've set X to be, you can double sweep because it's I think a triggered ability. Is that right? I have to test that one. But you could double one of the gain and drain triggers from the Meathook Massacre potentially. It's just that usually if you're casting the Massacre, the Weaver is also going to be leaving the battlefield, because unless your X is 1-ing, or you've got multiple Weavers in play and they're all 4/4s or 3/3s, and then you see where I'm going. But the other things you could double is potentially fetching 2 things back from the graveyard when the Gloomshrieker enters the battlefield, because it's an enchantment. You could also, and this is what I really like it for, is our 2 main removal spells here. We've got Binding of the Old Gods, which gets rid of all of the enchantments when you're playing the runes guys, and Twisted Embrace, which does creatures and planeswalkers. So whenever Twisted Embrace enters the battlefield, I like to put it onto the Kaimi, which is quite nice because it'll drain and gain, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. You can double that with the Weaver of Harmony, so you're destroying 2 targets, and Kaimi becomes a 4/4, and you get to attack. Really, really cool. And of course, again, the same thing can be said with Binding of the Old Gods. You could destroy 2 things for 5 mana as long as you have Weaver of Harmony on the board. And then the main reason why this is in here is the Skeletal Swarming at the top end. Each skeleton you control has trample. Attack each combat if able and gets +X/+O, where X is the number of other skeletons you control. So these get bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually you can swing in for a kill. And of course, all of these little skeletons that the opponent's going to want to be blocking or whatever are going to help with all of our draining stuff that we've got going on. And every time at the end step, you create a tapped 1/1 black skeleton creature token, and if a creature died this turn, you create 2 of those. Then you tap your Weaver of Harmony and you double that trigger. So if you on one of those turns where you're going to be creating 2, you'd be creating 4. So making the overwhelming kind of aspect of Skeletal Swarming happen much quicker because of the Weaver of Harmony. And then, of course, if the opponent somehow is still able to survive a bunch of these skeletons, we can Meathook Massacre our own board with all these creatures that only have 1 toughness and win that way as well. alternate win cons. We've also got some creature lands that can keep attacking in. I do have one of each of the legendaries, 3 of each of the duels. These are in here to be fetched by the Binding of the Old Gods, and then, as usual, a couple of Field of Ruins. And that's the deck, guys. FrogChantments. The strategy is clear. Sort of control the board with all of our plentiful removal, and drain the opponent with the Kaimi, with the Clawing Torment, with the Warlock Class, with the Meathook Massacre, until at which point we can get a Skeletal Swarming down, and then just try to overwhelm the opponent with the skeletons. And let's jump and do some games. Definitely some unranked kind of jank. On the verge of a bunch of new cards. I'm super excited for spoilers to start for Alchemy. I think we'll probably get already some you know, sneak peeks within the Neon Dynasty Championship coverage. I'm speculating whether the you know, the current reigning world champion Utah, he was supposed to have a card made with his image, like the Elite Spellbinder is for Paulo Vitor Damadurosa. And I was expecting it to come out in Kamigawa, but it didn't. That's a tough keep, that one. That's better. But no black sauce. But yeah, so I'm wondering if Utah's card is going to come out in the Alchemy set instead. That could be cool. Black sauce detected. Okay. A mono white Hallowed Haunting. Ooh, we've got to hang on to this Boseiju. Hopefully no exile effect now. Borrowed time type thing. Okay. Let's go with the... Fortunately, it's going to leave the battlefield straight away, so we don't get the drain, but at least we get to make the Kaimi. I could have made it unblockable, but I didn't think he would block. There it is. So this is destroy. So we can still go fetch it back with Gloomshrieker. Aha! But a second black source would be my favorite. Yes, please. Drain, and boom. And it's a 4/4 now. And because it's legendary, we can actually channel Boseiju. So we bring back Tatsunari next time. Play that Hallowed Haunting. It's a little bit annoying. Second slash. Ooh. Okay, so I think Boseiju needs to be played as a land. And I'll bring back Clawing Torment. Ouch. Now we need binding, like now. Ooh. That's quite nice. Can't block the Menacer. This guy can't block. It's a bit of a little sub-theme, this can't block situation, because Clawing Torment also makes a can't block. Tatsunari can't block, and then there's some menace. It's quite nice. We've got him. Yes, he's got a Doom Scar. He's like, okay, I got the creature land. I can block one with the creature land. Attack with the naturalist. Okay, he's committing suicide. Let's really drive it home. Nice. Beating on some Selesnya enchantments. Game 1 makes me feel pretty good. On to the next one. As usual, watching these big events it always makes me kind of reconsider historic. I need to, as soon as I have a bit of extra money, as soon as the channel starts kicking off, I need to consider branching out into other formats and like expanding my collection. It's quite pricey, but okay, no Tatsunari, but otherwise quite nice. I think I'll keep it. I hope to draw into one. Hello. Second copy of Weaver. It's pretty interesting. Then we can sort of maybe Massacre. Ooh. I don't like the look of that. Although it's probably the Starnheim, or whatever, the Angels tokens maker. But just in case it is a Doomscar, I might just... Okay, that's fine. That's okay. This might be real dumb. If this is a Doomscar, that was a real horrible idea. Although we can get one back. And if he doesn't play a creature that I want to put Clawing Torment onto, then we can Binding the Old Gods, the whatever it is. Skadoosh. Thank you. Another Selesnya enchantment. Oh, Abzan. Are you kidding me? Okay, interesting. Let's go fetch the one with red in it. Okay, sweet top deck Valki. Let's keep this in case there's suddenly a... I had a feeling, man. Nice. Well played. Let's see whose little creature tokens get more sizey quicker. Are you kidding me, guys? Okay, what are we more scared of? I think the Hallowed Haunting. We get 2, so we're ahead on the zombies. This is ridiculous. Abzan, Skeletal Swarming. Imagine he's got a Doomscar now, yeah. Oh my goodness gracious me, what a cheeky person. What a nice... I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Oh wait, let's attack first. Yeah, I guess. That was really nice. Rite of Harmony with the Skeletal Swarming triggers. Drawing 2 cards. That was very nice. I like that a lot. I might have to consider putting that in a deck now. I can think of many ways to trigger that. This guy is a real master. Okay. What's worse? I don't know. Rite of Oblivion, my something? What are you gonna take? The Massacre, huh? I still get one more bit of life gain before. Comes a 3-2, a little bit bigger. Although this guy has been very, very wily so far. Yanosaki. Gosh darn it. So lucky, man. It's enough to drive you insane when you start flooding like that. And they just keep getting the gas, baby. And he's gonna get to draw so many cards with this. No. Does he have the mana? Yeah. Oh no, he doesn't. He's 1 mana short of casting the Rite of Harmony, but... yeah, he has to attack. And then we have the Menace. Close. Very close. Very well played, opponent. I like that deck a lot. I had seen this Abzan Halidor Haunting stuff in the very beginning and then it faded off, but I never played against it. So, pretty nice. Might have to look into that. And then Rite of Oblivion, you got so many things to sacrifice. That was a very nice little brew. On to the next one. Kind of want to get back to the coverage. There were some tight matches. I think Jim Davis was like still undefeated and Jean-Emmanuel Duprat had like 1 loss or something. It's incredible, incredible games. Okay. It's heavy on the removal, but... this is not looking good for my Weaver. Here comes a shock or something. Nope. Frostbite. Same difference. Oh, wow. Okay. Hopefully there isn't another one thing that does 3 damage. He's got 3 snow permanents. So he could do it. We've got to get them out of his hands at some point. There's no playing around that type of thing with this deck that I have. Just have to keep playing cards. Alright. So that's 2 down. Always got 2 in the opening hand. Probably level up his spirit. Would have been so perfect with Tatsunari in play and the... Oh well. Counterspell. That smells like a counterspell to me. Could be Doom Bolt or Demon Bolt or something like that, removal, but I get the feeling it's like saw it coming. So let's bait it out here, if it is. Is he being smart? Holding up the counter. Let's see. Saw it coming. Oh. Cheeky, 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 cheeky. Come on. Let's get it out of his hand. Gotta do it. There's no 2 ways about it. Okay. Maybe it's the draw spell. Scry 2. Okay. Phew. So there's still 3 more potentially sword comings in the deck. I'm hoping he deploys a creature. Wow, I will not misforetell when it rotates. I wonder if he's... He's not trying to mill me or anything. It's like seems some like tempo burn thing. Cool. I'll just keep attacking for 2 every time. I'm okay with that. Till I'm certain I can play this Tatsunari. Counter spells. Oh, the joys. And there's plenty mana. Okay. No 1 mana spell. That was a misplay. Unless he's got one in his hand. Fading Hope, that is. Okay. If he has 2 mana, he needs to hold up the red one when he casts, you know, the Lair, so that he can play the Frostbite on the Gloomshrieker. But he doesn't know I've got... Oh, okay. Stinky Lair deck. I'm okay with Lair in the way I played her in the Grixis pile. That was okay. Is it? Nah. Stinky, stinky. Five mana. Come on, cast a Lair. You sometimes find these slightly more newbie players in unranked. This guy doesn't seem to be one of them. Let's get the sword coming out of your hand. Oh, okay, maybe not. I was so sure. I was so sure. It's Demon Bolt. Third Frostbite. If I keep trying to just get rid of this Lair, it's a never-ending story. He'll just bounce it again, and then he'll keep doing stuff next turn. And play her again. But if I just play a Skeletal Swarming, he can also return that to my hand. So what's worse, you know? I think we gotta just try and get rid of this Lair. What? He had one in hand, so now he's put 2 to... Oh, fuck. This is the, you know, the people that were desperate when Divide by Zero got banned, and so they played. They try to find some other bounce spell. Saw it coming now, dude. I'll lose it. It's always the slowest players. Oh my god, I had to really think about that one. Disgusting, disgusting. He keeps doing this though. He doesn't leave himself with the second blue source to saw it coming. So we can play this now quite safely, and it's uncounterable because of the Lair. Cannot believe the way this guy has been so lucky with his cards. He can of course just bounce it to my hand with a Depart the Realm, but what else am I supposed to do? At least maybe I'll get the skeleton. Let's see if he lets the trigger. Yeah. Now we've got something to attach the Twisted Embrace onto. He's probably worried I have some instant speed removal, so he doesn't want to tap out. Gross. There we go. Now he's like fully set up to start doing his nonsense. We can't cast anything. He's just gonna freaking bounce it. At least he can't counter it. It's a lot of counter spells in a Lair deck. But sure, it did the trick. I don't know if we should even stick around for this. Don't think there's a way to come back. You can just recast everything in 2 times. Yeah, okay. Good game. Bye-bye. Enjoy your life. Playing gross Lair deck. On to the next one. Took a punch. Took a punch. It's kind of the perfect, you know, brew against us. Just counter everything. Plenty of removal. Dodgeball Coolers. I'm gonna mull that. Much better. Probably should have gone with the Deathcap Glade first. Okay, I haven't ever really played against Lion Sash. Honestly. Should we just kill it now? Boom. That's probably the best idea. For once, I'm not the one bricking. Now we can trigger Tatsunari with the Weaver. Forget I said anything. At least we get to draw. I'll do it this way rather. We can do the double kill thing if we want. It's probably the exile spell. What's it called again? Okay. Jeez. Hey, well, that's 2 more cards we can draw. It's never a bad thing. Nice. A little bit of drain. Grow the Kaimi. Destroy one veteran. Drain some more. Attack. And then drain some more with the class. Very nice. Doomscar. Spellbinder. Sure. I'm going for it. Five. Frog coming through. Oh! We can level up the class next turn and win the game that way. Now the Doomscar? No? Has to block. Oh, it's game over. But we still get one. Oh no, because it's exiled. We didn't get the ping. Now with the Doomscar. Interesting. Wow, it's just flooding. Oh, you've got to be joking. El Flado. Let's go with green. That's terrible. He's gonna get a nice little restock off of this. Let's see what he gets. Could be a whiff. Welcoming Vampire, drawing some cards. Very nice. Come on, not a land. Anything but a freaking land. Okay. I mean, come on, man. Like, are you kidding me, dude? How lucky do you have to be? I'm so sick of this, man. Like, come on. Get stuffed. Like, you can tell when the game just wants you to lose. I can't end the video on that, even though we've arrived at the 45-minute mark. But you can't just end a video on a stupid flood. One more match. Try to end on a win. I want to get the double trigger on the Skeletal Swarming with the Weaver. Then I can consider it a really complete night. Burning hell. Pretty nice. No Tatsunari, but otherwise very nice. No Jawari. Okay, but now it's gonna be much tougher. Fading Hope. Yay. How fun. When presented with a choice like that, where it's two cards that are the same and one that isn't, and they're both cards that I have 4 of in the deck, then I'll go with the one that there's 2 of, because there's more chance that I'll get, you know, one of the other ones instead of another Infernal Grasp. Hope that makes sense. Bounces to my hand, makes the 4/4. Wow. Now I'm happy I kept the Infernal Grasp, huh? At least we get a little drain action off of the class. But if this is Bounce Tribal, we're in for a lovely game. Wow, what is going on tonight, guys? God. He had another Fading Hope in his hand. Oh my god. Double Lair games back to back is just some form of punishment. If he goes for the bounce. A triple Fading Hope in his hand. Disgusting card. Bounce Tribal, baby. Woo! She comes again. He'll never tap out. Death Touch. Bounce one of them. Take two, which will end up being, or you can bounce both of them. So that's two of your fading hopes gone. Just getting me closer to being able to Infernal Grasp your ass. Okay. You could have a deluge. Does he have another one in hand? Moment of truth. Hallelujah. Sorry, bud. Lair's gone, the counter spells begin. I can bounce my stuff again. Ugh. At least I get the double trigger here. Got a creature land. Let's not forget that. Can become a 6/6. Yeah, that's our win con, I guess. Although we could hardcast Valki. Or if I need to have 4 up to put this onto this, then it can only become a 2/2. Let's try this first before resorting to Valki. Unfortunately, we lose the Twisted Embrace. He's gonna remove my Lair, so that's why I didn't go for that plan. Oh, you have got to actually be freaking joking. You actually have got to be kidding me, man. Luckily I can make them unblockable, but like he needs to have 3 bounce spells. Okay. That's one more bounce. What an ass hat. This person, man, I hate you. What a Lair and Hullbreaker Horror mono blue. Get stuffed, man. What a freaking frick. He's got something. I hate this card so much, it's tough to explain. Just ruin a game of Magic, like perfectly good game of Magic. So close. You have got to be joking. What a disgusting human being. I hope you are a disgusting person. Go and get stuffed. I won't even give you a good game. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I can't bring myself to play another match. It seems like the matchmaker algorithm tonight has decided to pair me up against some incredibly annoying Lair decks. But still, we got to showcase the FrogChantments deck to a certain extent. And in this final segment of the video, where I'll give you my final thoughts, I would like to say that this is a pretty sweet little deck that didn't get its opportunity to really kick off in the gameplay footage tonight, but I definitely think it's worthwhile checking out. I would love to hear your thoughts. How would you have built it differently? I want to hear your Tatsunari ideas in the comments. Have you built, a Frog Tribal? I initially had a couple copies of Froghemoth in the deck to give Froghemoth the unblockability. We might have to look into that, maybe go into Sultai and throw in Grolnok and go full Frog Tribal. So keep your eyes peeled on the channel for that. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all tomorrow for some fresh brews. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the Brew Lab, signing out. Peace, y'all.